How to find a family-oriented man when you want kids, want them soon, and refuse to donate 3 more years to a man who's still figuring it out. Today, why the family man isn't a type you find, but a pairing you create, and the 10-minute filter that replaces the 3-year test. First, let's kill the shame, because it's costing women years. Intentional dating for marriage and kids is not desperate. Desperate is spending 4 years pretending you're chill about kids so you don't scare a man who is never going to give you any. You have a project, family, with a real deadline. Dating with a spec sheet isn't sad. It's what every successful project manager does. Men date intentionally all the time. They just call it knowing what I want and get applauded for it. So yes, say it early, say it calm. I'm dating to build a family. The right man leans in, the wrong man self-deports. Both outcomes save you time. But here's where the standard intentional dating advice runs out. Because it tells you to find a family-oriented man, and that man doesn't exist. Not the way you think. The checklist says, find the man who's great with his nephews, talks about wanting kids, comes from a big warm family, sweet, and unreliable in both directions. The nephew-whisperer? He'll be a wonderful uncle. Whether he becomes a devoted father to your children depends on one thing his nephews can't show you. Does the code of your specific pairing register you as his woman and your future kids as his legacy? If not, the same warm man negotiates child support like it's a hostage situation. And the reverse, the man who's not sure about kids, never held a baby, doesn't melt at strollers, with the right pairing, his system flips. She's his pack. The children are his lineage. And suddenly, Mr. Undecided is building a nursery with his own hands. You've seen both stories in real life. That's because family orientation isn't stored in the man, it's activated by the pairing. So searching for a family-oriented man is searching for a type that doesn't exist. What you're actually looking for is the man who becomes family-oriented with you. Different search, different method, which brings us to the search half of you came for, how to vet a man for marriage quickly, because dating when you want kids soon means you cannot afford the traditional test. The traditional test is cohabitation. Move in, live together 2 or 3 years, observe whether he steps up. It's accurate-ish. It also costs exactly the years you don't have, and if the answer is no, you exit at 34 with the whole family project still ahead. The express filter reads the same 3 things, before the feelings, before the lease. 1. The engines. Is this even a real bond, attraction firing, psychological sync alive, or a pleasant arrangement that dissolves in year 3? 2. His provider status in your pairing, the single most important marker for the family project, because pregnancy is the moment provision stops being romantic theory. Is his instinct to fund and protect you switched on, off, or conditional? 3. The friction level. You're not just choosing a husband, you're choosing the atmosphere your children grow up in, and the stress level you'll carry them under. 10 minutes per candidate. Run it at date 0 if you want. Before the 3rd dinner, before the butterflies rewrite your judgment. Filter first. Feel second. That's how a woman with a deadline dates. And the biological clock-ticking dating anxiety, the pressure that makes women grab the nearest, he's fine, I guess? I've said it before and it holds. Panic burns windows. Data builds schedules. A woman who knows a candidate's code by date 2 doesn't spend 3 years on still deciding. She spends 3 dates and moves on or moves in. I broke down the full timeline math in my Fertile Years video. The short version is brutal. 1 wrong man is the whole project. The math, as always. The traditional route to finding a husband to start a family. 2 to 3 years of live-in testing per candidate with your deadline paying the bill. The express filter, 10 minutes and less than a single blowout per candidate. And you walk into the 3rd date already knowing whether his code can build a family with you. The family man isn't out there waiting to be found. He's activated by the right pairing. Find yours by reading, not by waiting. If you could filter every candidate at date 0, engines, provision, friction, would you keep running 3-year tests? Links in the description. And tell me in the comments, what's the longest you've waited for a man to figure out if he wants kids? I read everything. Don't leave your soft life to chance. Subscribe and start vetting by code.